Albert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. Thank you for joining us on episode 290 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor and Damon. What's going on, guys?
Hey, 290.
We're just trying to figure out our 300th.
This is a filler.
Yeah, we are everybody. Everything until 300's filler?
Everything until 300's filler, unless Disney drops some, crazy
some news. Huge news. Yeah, which they might. You never know. They have been dropping.
We're in the 10-episode countdown, though.
We are in the 10-episode countdown.
It is.
You know what? Knowing us, we're going to do nothing. So everyone don't.
No, we're going to do something. We're going to figure it out.
We just talked about it beforehand. We're going to do nothing. Everybody, sorry.
No, it's not true. We're going to do something.
Maybe we'll go to Optimus Hall.
There you go.
Wait, who would go to Optimus Hall though? I think other people would show up.
Yeah, apparently there's according to a comment on our YouTube video, and I apologize for not giving credit to the person that sent this, but apparently there's a meetup at Optimus Hall already of Disney people that they do every once.
No, they go to different places though.
Oh, I thought they said Optimus Hall in the.
Yeah, but it's every time it's different.
Oh, okay, I see.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Now you're going to make me look it up, I guess.
I could go look it up, yeah. No, I don't
I'm sure, if you guys are planning to be there, and then, I'm sure it would be cool, actually, to kind of, if we can... I say this like I'm actually going to be there because I can't get there, but...
yeah.
But, it would be cool, actually, if you can get a room or something, and then people can come join live.
Yeah.
In the room.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
But, yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
we're talking about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We've been doing this such a long time now. It's funny because you're talking.
The other one's in Concord, NC, Gibson Mill.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where that is. They're all by you though.
They're all by me. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes it tough because I'll come out for a 300th episode, but it's still 2.5 hours, 2:45 for me. It's not like it's hop, skip, and a jump.
It's not around the corner. Yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, it sounded like, Damon, that you walked away. I envisioned you had a massive map of the area
of North Carolina
looking at on a wall.
No. I was trying to find the comment because I knew it wasn't Optimus Hall. And do you know where that is, though, Tom? I mean, Concord is right next to Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
What's this Gibson whatever?
I don't know what that is. There's a gigantic mall in Concord. That's what Concord is really known for. So we're talking local.
Gibson Mill. Oh, it's a food hall. It's kind of like Optimus.
Oh, okay.
I guess they meet up at food halls. Actually, this would be something that might interest me now. Now, when you start talking about food and something I can eat, not just talk about, this becomes interesting. So
anytime there's food, yeah.
But I think it's next week, and that's obviously not going to happen. Whoever it is, let us know when the one for March is. Because, wow, actually, wouldn't that be good if we could match up the 300 with that?
Well, that's
what I'm calling right now.
Yeah, that's what we were thinking we would do. Yeah, let's do that.
So if we can get those people, hey, whoever it is and whoever's listening, March 24th is when you need to plan the next one not the February one, but the March one should be March 23rd. Sorry. And get everyone to go, and then we'll film a live show there.
There you go.
Boom. Done.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about how we've been doing this for so long, and Trevor, you said 2016. I thought it was 2017, but I
know why it's 2016. I realized this was that we started in the April of 2016 because my first DVC trip was supposed to be in the September of 2016, but it got pushed by the hurricane. Yeah. So, and I remember that was in 2016 because I actually have I have it on my my photo reels. It shows up from time to time, and the memory stuff that or I'm sure every photo storage thing does this. But yeah, we started in April of 2016, so we are. Wow. We are at 9 years this year.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean, we've been doing this for almost a decade.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Because podcasts usually don't last this long. A lot of them will come and go during this time. We were even just talking about our friends over at World of DVC, because when we first started, we used to communicate with the owner of DVC Resale Market, Nick, and that's who used to come on our show all the time. And since then, they have DVC Resale Market, they have Rental Store, they've got Monero. They've like exploded in the past 9-10 years here that we've known them. It's just kind of interesting to see how that's happened as we've also done the show, and they've just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, obviously because of us, right? So
clearly we are the linchpin in their entire plan. Yeah,
their entire operation is due to us. Yeah.
No, seriously though, we do love the fact that we did get to meet Nick and everybody at the different I guess we keep saying World of DVC, but are we using the new name now? Because that's a
good question. They have a new name now.
Yeah.
Well, for now, let's use World of DVC. If we have to change it, we will. But for now, it's World of DVC. But we'll talk about them later, obviously too. So
yeah,
I'm frantically typing away. I'm typing away to see if we can coordinate. It's Adrian Green to see if we can coordinate our March episode with their meetup. See, I'm doing podcast work while on the podcast.
Look at that. You're actually producing the podcast while on the podcast. That's good.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So let's unless you guys have anything you want to talk about before we get into it.
Let's get into the DVC news.
Yeah, and so this one actually happened this article came out while we were out for the holidays, right? So which was a first look at the new Bay Lake Tower rooms, which I think you guys know that I own at Bay Lake Tower, but I have only ever stayed there once. So, but I have to say, I like this redesign. It looks really nice. It looks, it kind of fits with the vibe of the Contemporary, and there's some like cool furniture and art in there.
Yeah. It's the one thing I'll say is that the Murphy beds are. The Murphy bed looks exactly the same as the one that I've seen in the Polynesian. Which tells me that they just have, these are just the standard Murphy beds now, which is fine. That they're decent, and I like the fact that they like the backsplash in the kitchen area isn't just. It seemed like Disney was being very bland with their colors for a long time, and
or at least
like it seems like they're trying to bring some color back into it, and also with the carpet and everything. It's nice. It's, definitely I would stay there if I wasn't already staying at the Poly.
Yeah. No, I might give it a second look. I will say the best thing about Bay Lake is that you can walk to Magic Kingdom. Like it's a 10-minute walk to Magic Kingdom, right? Like, and you can't really do that really any other resort. You can't get any closer to Magic Kingdom.
I'd rather take a boat than walk, though. I'll be honest.
Listen, I don't disagree with you, because that walk back to the resort after a long day when your feet are hurting, it's like it's rough. Yeah. You like that little break of sitting down for 15 minutes,
Yeah. The boat does make you feel a little bit more regal, I guess. It's
regal.
You're getting that VIP. I'm taking the boat.
Yes. I like the little boats too. The little boats make you even feel even fancier, because they have like, which ones I'm talking about? The little ones that have like the wood, and like they have like the captain's wheel on them, and like it's not like the bigger ones which are just a boat, but those ones that go between like Polynesian and Grand Floridian and Magic Kingdom are always, I feel like, cooler because they're smaller and just a little more. I don't, like you said, a little more regal. So.
It makes you feel a bit more VIP riding the boat.
Yeah,
especially when you roll up to Magic Kingdom, like that approach into Magic Kingdom it's nice. Like you're on the boat and you're kind of like you're starting to get excited, but you're not walking already because like you said, you do so much walking in a day. It's like it's nice to take the boat.
Oh man, that walking always sneaks up on me too. Like I'm like, oh no, this time my feet aren't going to hurt, and then they always do. But anyway, so so these look really nice. I also was laughing because I was just looking on there was they have a poll on DVC Fan of what the acronym should be for the new Lakeshore Lodge, which feels like it's pretty straightforward to me. I would have said DLL, but their little poll here has VLL as the one for Villas at Lakeshore Lodge.
I
mean, You can go a bunch of different ways, but I would go Disney Lakeshore Lodge. I would go DLL, but whatever.
I mean, DLL is also a file format, so I don't know. Well, that's confusing to me.
You gotta not think like
I'm an IT guy. I'm sorry. You tell me about a DLL, and I'm like, oh, where's this the dynamic link library? Like, I know.
All right. Well, anything else? Go ahead.
Yeah. Back to the rooms. I do like just looking at the bathroom overhaul. I like the little graphic that they did on the mirror. That it like that sweeping monorail.
Oh yeah,
thing that they did on the side.
Yeah. Oh, because that actually reminds me of Top of the World a little bit, because they do like a lot of like really cool, kind of like retro, like futuristic kind of things with the monorail, and that's kind of what they did there. That's a really cool picture, actually.
Yeah, I like that. Again, good little touch to add to the rooms for sure.
Can somebody do better tile work though? Oh my goodness,
what's wrong with the tile work?
The tile behind the bath.
Oh, you're talking about in the bathtub there, because it's not matching.
Like, yeah, whoever laid that out, like, can you move some tiles around, like, for real?
Well, you're not going to match the lines perfectly, though. Like,
no, but look, I mean, if you're a tile person, you set the tiles out and then you kind of try to match them up somewhat. Like, that's terrible.
I feel like you don't cut into the corner like that. Like, you're gonna,
there's a lot of interesting things. Like, to me, that's just like little teeny things. Like, why you just don't do? But it's funny. House builders don't do them either. But you go back in and argue with them and be like, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Like, that top one on the top right should be down 2, and then like you're good. Like, take the other 2 should be side by side." Wow, this is that's the sort of stuff that bothers me. Like, this doesn't bother me. You're putting in all this effort and all this money. Like, hey, man, lay the tile out right.
Yeah.
I get you.
I agree with you. After doing my own home renos, I totally get what you're doing. What you're talking about, David. Like it's the same thing. It's like people are going to have to look at that for years, and when it's
and
not,
then use it as your picture, as your main pick.
Yeah. Well, this is somebody took
somebody that took
pics.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not Disney. These are not Disney pictures. Which, by the way, I don't know if you saw the picture too. That's on the outside of the pull down bed under the TV, because that's pretty cool too. I think that's like etched in there. It's the again. It's like this kind of like retro-y contemporary with the monorail coming out of it.
Yeah,
which is very cool.
Cheesy, you said?
Huh?
Did you say cheesy or cool?
No, it's cool. No, it's very cool. It's very like I said. I guess they're going for it's kind
modern,
of retro, but also
still,
futuristic. Yeah.
It's the contemporary style. Is like that's the only way I can describe it. Is whatever the contemporary style is.
Yeah, I also like in this picture too. They have that, and then they also have the contemporary in the background where the monorail comes out of the picture, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So I will say for Bay Lake, when I did stay there, that I don't think there's a bad view that exists at the resort, because even if you get like a parking lot view, you're still looking at like the monorail, or you're looking out at the lake, or you're pretty much surrounded by nice views, or you're looking at the contemporary. I guess. I mean,
you're pretty
that too.
You're pretty far into the Disney bubble, so yeah, it's never a case of I'm just looking out over like grass or something.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna lie, this kind of made me sad, even though I know a lot of people don't care about Dinoland, but
Dinosaur is the best, man.
The ride Dinosaur, you love Dinosaur?
Yeah, love Dinosaur. It's this, once they took out the awesomeness that was Alien Encounter, like this was kind of the next best
scary.
Aha, gotcha. You sort of ride there. Like it's a little scary, like, but it's like not scary enough that you feel like terrible about bringing your kid on it, but it's just enough to be like kind of fun.
Well, Dinosaur is not closed yet, so
we got all 25 for that.
Yeah, we got a whole another year before Dinosaur closes, but the rest of Dinoland is now closed, and they're starting to take stuff down, which is a bummer. I think I've talked about before. My daughter really loves the the Triceratops spin. I know it's basically just Dumbo, but she like really loved it. And so I saw pictures of them starting to dismantle it, and I was like, that's sad. I also love the games too, because it always, Damon, reminded me of like the Jersey Shore, boardwalk, because they had those kinds of games.
Midway games. Yeah.
The thing is, though, is like the Jersey Shore is kind of like grimy, right? It's fun, like it was cool growing up, but it's grimy. It's like they're definitely just taking your money, and you're not getting
all the games
anything.
are rigged. Yeah.
We're like when it was in Disney, it made me feel a little icky, like. You're not going to win at these games. They're hard to win. I don't know. It made, like, I get what you're saying, but it also made me feel like Disney was not the spot for that. Dollywood had something similar, but yeah, I mean, I'm not about that in any amusement park.
Yeah.
Keep it to the shore.
Keep it at the shore. I love those games.
They're fun, but they have a spot, and that spot is the shore.
Yeah.
Sure. Going to Disney and playing Midway games, I feel you on that, Damon, because it's the same thing. Like, we have places nearby.
You see those people playing, and you're like, why are you wasting your time and/or /money?
I mean, I gladly do.
For us, it's the Stampede. The Stampede is like kind of has the similar vibe to like the Midway games you're talking about, because it was the same thing as like, they set up the Stampede, they've got the games, and it's clearly just, they're there to take your money, and that's it. I'm personally okay with them taking it out of Disney because of the fact that I'm already at Disney. I'm already spending a ton of money.
Insane, man.
And, the fact that if the Midway games were free, or they had like some way to play them where you didn't have to keep throwing money at them, like, yeah, I would be more.
What if they were DVC points and you could win DVC points? Oh my goodness, that would be the best thing
would
ever.
Be expensive.
That would be so awesome.
No,
I think there should be a Disney casino like that. There should be like a casino where there's no money; it's just DVC points, so you can play with.
Well, you got to spend money though, right? Like,
well, see, here's the thing: like, when you run out of DVC points, it's not like you can, do anything else. Like, you're done. Like,
wait, so you're betting with DVC points?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
just DVC points.
So
that would be the best thing ever.
If I can hold out till Tuesday, my use your resets, and then I'm back in the game, baby.
Yeah, exactly. But you only have so many points.
Sorry, honey, no vacation this year. I
ran it all on red.
Yeah, I was on a hot streak, and then things happened.
I bet our Riviera points on red. It was 0.
I was up 100 points, and then I lost it all.
But think about the other end of it. Hey, like I double down, and all of a sudden, we're upgraded.
We're staying in a deluxe suite.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Staying in a 3-bedroom instead of a studio.
Yeah.
They're really good at craps this time. Disney craps, where each one of the dice has a different character on it, not a number.
Do the high rollers get put in a grand villa? Just because you're a high roller, you get the
no. There's none of that. There's none of that at the Disney casino. No. Everyone's on equal ground.
Okay. But you have to be a DVC owner, so it's equal ground.
Absolutely, you can't go in there with money. It can only be DVC points.
Oh my gosh, this feels very illegal somehow.
This got very unhinged. So we were originally talking about Dinoland.
How did we get there? Oh, because it was
Midway games.
Okay, Midway games. Yeah. Okay.
Back to the groundbreaking thing.
Yes.
So I do want to point something out that I feel is kind of funny about this. Is that?
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
They got this picture here of, they've got the shovels and they're digging into the dirt. They literally dropped in a pile of dirt. Like, there's no way this is like.
But that's pretty normal though. Like, if you ever see the pictures,
it's so fun. Goofy when the background is like the rest
concrete.
Yeah, and it's all concrete. Like, I don't know.
They very clearly just dump some, like you said, David. That's typical,
that's just
right?
What
like
they do.
If you zoomed out a little bit, you would just see it's a pile of dirt that's there. But it is what it is, right?
Yeah,
so,
it's just framing of your picture is all I'm saying. Like, they could have done it somewhere where it wasn't quite so obvious.
I have to say I am gonna miss. I always liked Primeval Whirl. Wow,
I would agree with that.
Yeah, that was a fun ride.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one, and I also just liked the kooky theming of Dinoland. Like, it just was like really weird and retro and silly, and I just liked it.
Absolutely. I do think that this new village, though, is going to be
awesome.
pretty cool. Yeah.
And,
I don't even think I've seen any of the, oh no, I did. I saw one. What's it? What movie are we talking about again? This is Encanto.
Encanto. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tropical America's Land. So it's, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm going to say this, Damon, that I know you're talking about how you're going to miss Dinosaur. I think once this Indiana Jones ride opens up, you're not going to miss Dinosaur. I
think I am.
Being honest.
Is it scary at the end of Indiana Jones? I mean, it's not like you're ruining anything. Like, what happened?
There is okay. The final scene in the California Adventure Indiana Jones is you almost getting run over by a boulder.
It's the boulder scene from Indiana Jones.
That's not like that's not the same.
You have to remember it's the same track too, right? So it's doing that same dive downwards that you do.
Yeah, it's not that. It's the dinosaur head that's crazy.
Yeah. Well,
no, but the boulder scene is like the first time we saw it. It was terrifying. Like because
you're going to get run over by the paper mache boulder.
Because you don't realize, like you don't know where you're going to go. You don't know, like it has that shock value. And I will say that the ride as a whole, if you have a selection of phobias, the ride actually is scarier for a bunch more people because
why snakes?
There's snakes, there's bugs, there's skeletons. There, like it covers the gamut of like all the scary stuff that you would find. I think that the ride Indiana Jones is a scarier ride for because it does cover a lot of different things. Whereas like with dinosaurs, it's like okay, it's dinosaurs. Like they keep popping out, but it's still dinosaurs. Whereas Indiana Jones, there's a lot more selection for you to choose from to be scared of.
I mean, and if you're to your point though, like if you are scared of dinosaurs, then yeah, dinosaurs the scariest ride that you're going to be on, right? Like my sister doesn't like going on dinosaurs as a grown adult. Like it freaks her out too much. And that, to your point though, too, Damon, like that ride has the greatest like misdirection at the end, right? Yeah. Because they make you look over to the right at the one dinosaur, and then when you turn back, and then the big one is in your face, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I'll miss Dinosaur too. I like Dinosaur. I think that whole land was kind of fun, even though it was obviously, kind of a budget thing where they didn't spend a lot of money on it. And
so what's going over in this area that we know of?
So it's the Tropical America's Land. We know there's going to be a
ride, though, right?
Yeah, there's an Encanto ride that they're going to build, and also there's, I believe, a carousel in the middle of the land as well. A new carousel.
How many more carousels do we need? I feel like.
Listen, it looks nice though. It's a cool little carousel.
Every park.
Yeah. I like carousels. My daughter's never happier than when she's on a carousel. She loves carousels. So, but I also will miss the digging, the dinosaur dig area too, and the playground, because my daughter also loved that too. But to your point, it's like you're paying all this money to go to Disney. Do you really just want to hang out at a playground and a sand pit? Probably not.
I mean, it has its place. Like there is definitely like we've made use of those play areas when our son was younger, and it's great to have them. I don't think they should go away, but I also don't think that necessarily, the Dinoland one doesn't need to stay around, and they can find other ways to do that. Like there is potential for them to, still do something like that, but get creative with it, like they did with Dinoland. I will say about the carousel. So Damon, I am kind of with you that I don't care to go and ride carousels all the time, but I feel that they should be in the park because they are an important kinetic element. So
they provide a nice ambiance.
The vibe of a carousel just makes things better. Like I don't know how else to describe it. It's like like when you walk into like Fantasyland, you're like, oh, the carousel's in the middle, and I'm not getting in line for it, but that's cool. I like that.
No, it makes you feel like you're in at Disney. It's like like you said, it's an ambiance thing. It's like it makes you feel like you're at an amusement park, and it just with the music and like you said, the moving of it, and the horses going up and down and all that. Just it really puts you in a good mindset for vacation, I think. So, but anyway. The other thing, though, too, Trevor, to your point, they could keep that dig site thing and just retheme it to Indiana Jones. I mean, Indiana Jones is he's an archaeologist, right? So
they already got the pile of dirt from the groundbreaking. I mean, they're halfway there.
Well, and they probably brought it from over there. It looks like the same dirt. It looks like the same dirt. They probably just brought some from over there. But I mean, also that sand pit is kind of towards the dinosaur area where the Indiana Jones ride is going to be. So, I mean, they could do it if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they could do an Indiana Jones. Like, that would actually be cool if it was still a kids area, but it was like a young archaeologist play area. Like that, that's easy to me. Like it updates it, it keeps it relevant to the area, and then it's still a play area, right? Like that would be how I would approach it. But yeah,
no, I think that would be a good idea. I also think I am going to be sad too when they get rid of the big dinosaur too. The big giant dinosaur there.
Well, then I'll say if you're that sad about dinosaurs, I would invite you to come up to Drumheller in Alberta, Canada, because they got tons of those big dinosaurs everywhere. Because
a big giant dinosaur statue like that.
Oh yeah, it's in the middle of town because Drumheller is where the Tyrrell Museum is, which is one of the biggest dinosaur museums in the world.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So if you want dinosaurs, there's other places you can go.
That's
for
the place to
dinosaurs. Go. Yeah. And that's actually kind of what like for me, dinosaur as a ride and like that whole area, like I like it, but it was like for me walking in there, it was like, well, this is like Drumheller, but not. It's not Drumheller.
Maybe that's what they based it on. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I think there was some basis on roadside stuff, but also like there's. What was it? That movie, The Wizard, where they there's somewhere in California where they stopped, where there was like a big roadside attraction, it's like a big dinosaur.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I know what you're talking about. I have to think about. I think I know.
To a video game tournament, but they stopped at it. It was this dinosaur thing that I think it was also used in Pee-wee's Big Adventure too.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
A bunch of weird memories for me.
Yeah, well, that's funny.
All right. Anyway,
so I saw this news, and this has been ramping up a lot lately, and Bluey is getting into everything, but there's going to be Bluey Legos now, which
of course there is.
Yeah, but I mean, why wouldn't there be, right? I will say though that it looks like it's the Duplo ones though, and like the younger kid ones. Which, listen, I get it's Bluey's for kids, right?
I mean, it's not for kids though.
I know. I want the house. I want the Bluey house to make. Like I want to build.
Wait, are there actually? Like, I'm looking at the link. I don't see the sets. Where are the sets?
They're not. They haven't revealed the sets yet. They've just revealed that they're going to have sets.
So they said some will be Duplo. So it's going to be a mix of the regular and the Duplo. So it
says June too, by the way. So they're going to be released in June.
I have to make a note of this now.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy one.
I probably will too. At least to do with my daughter, right? Like, yeah, because I mean, I'm sure they'll have some cool ones. I don't think they've. It says the 6 new Bluey Lego Bluey products will be unveiled in less than 6 months. So they're saying,
can I do a Bluey voice though? I don't think I can do a Bluey voice.
I mean, I don't
have to work on that.
Man. You have to work on.
How would you do you mean a Bluey or a Bandit voice? Because I think you could probably get away with Bandit more than Bluey.
Probably do Bandit, yeah.
Maybe.
Can you do an Australian accent?
Not well.
Just got to work on the Australian accent.
Come on, try it right now, Damon. What could
Absolutely
on
not.
the spot.
I would need some practice.
Let's hold you to that. Which, by the way, one of the things that was lost to me anyway, I'm sure everybody else saw this, but they have the movie that they're going to be doing that's coming out in 2 years. I didn't see the news that the guy that created it and writes it is leaving the show after that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he announced that he's done after the movie. Like he's just done.
So yeah, that's where to me it's like
it's gonna stop.
It'll be fine up until then. If they, that's not to say that other people couldn't take it over and it could be as good, but I feel like you'll definitely see a drop in quality when the original creator of it leaves.
Well, and to be fair, he wrote that show based on the things that his kids were doing, and over the years now his kids are not that age anymore, right? So he said that's part of what he said. He's like, to write this stuff again, I have to get myself in the mindset of that age group again, and he's like, it's just not there. I also know this guy has wanted to do adult animation for a while. So I've read interviews with him where his passion is really in adult animation. So I would be interested to see, considering all the work that he's been doing with Disney, if Disney gives him some sort of deal to do adult animation at some point. So that would be interesting.
Can we say non-children's focused animation? Because adult animation makes it sound like he wants to do something entirely different.
Okay.
I don't think you realize what you're saying there.
I mean, not kid shows. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Regular animated shows
not
targeted towards adults.
Animation.
Targeted towards adults.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Well, only your mind went there, Trevor. So
No. I'm sure it wasn't just me.
All right. Well,
maybe I've been on the internet too long. I don't know, but
maybe. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I think people know what I mean. So, but yeah, no, I to your point, Damon, too. Like, I will be looking for this when they come out, because I think everybody knows I really enjoy Legos. I'm currently working on a rocket ship and the launch pad for it. It's like 2 feet tall. It's getting a little unwieldy. So, but
where do
I'm
keep
sure
all these things. Just curious.
So as I was building this, Trevor, this is a thing that happened. My wife saw how big it was, and she goes, "Where are you going to put that?" And I was like, "Not sure." Like, I really don't know, because it's several feet tall. It's pretty wide. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where it's going to go yet. It might go next to my Cinderella castle that I have. So I have that on a shelf, and I think it would probably fit nicely next to that. So we'll see. Got to figure it out.
You're going to have to look into some IKEA storage if this continues the way it is.
I know. This is the last big one. So like that actually, Trevor, to your point, that factors in when I'm buying a new Lego set. It's like, okay, how big is this thing and where am I going to put it? Because it's one thing to get it and build it, but then like, what are you going to do with it afterwards? So
yeah, exactly. That's like we did that too. Like my son has a Millennium Falcon that he built, and we have the same thing. It's on a shelf, but it was like after that, I think he got 1 or 2 more sets, and we're like, no, we don't have room for any more. Like you can't
keep doing this.
You can't build these infinitely because there's physically not enough space in the house.
I think I just counted really quickly. I have 10 Lego models in this room with me right now.
Wow.
So most of them are small though. So like I have the Mandalorian's helmet. I've got the Thanos gauntlet. I've got the 100th anniversary Disney World one, or Disney one, that is I don't know if you saw this one. It's like a camera on a tripod. It's pretty cool. And then I have Steamboat Willie. I've got a Pac-Man machine. I've got the Up House. Like they're all pretty small though. So the Cinderella Castle and the rocket ship are definitely the 2 largest by far. So anyway, why don't we go ahead and do our ad, and then we got a whole bunch of Disneyland stuff to talk about, Trevor.
All right. This week, the show is brought to you by DVC Rental Store. DVC Rental Store is a World of DVC company that offers magical vacations at incredible value. Save up to 60% off retail rates at premium Disney resorts. DVC Rental Store now includes deposits as low as 25% at the time of booking and a built-in cancellation policy for every reservation. As always, DVC Rental Store pays out the most to members looking to rent their points. Want to learn more? Go to dvcrentalstore.com/welcome-home or call 1-855-DVC-RENT. That's 382-7368. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you.
All right. So let's talk Disney.
Do we want to start with the big... Okay, I feel like... Okay, let's actually start with the Big Hero 6...
Okay, because the other one's going to get into more, yeah.
Yeah, the other one is way bigger, in my opinion.
Yeah, oh, it is. It is. So, yeah, good.
Yeah. Okay, so they've given us a Sipper at California Adventure, because they like doing Sippers in California.
As we talked about last episode, right? Yeah.
And this one looks like the Megabot from Big Hero 6, which, I don't know if anybody remembers at the beginning, Hero is fighting robots. He's bot fighting, and it's his little... magnetic robot that he built that has the it has the smiley face on one side and the angry face on the other side.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think this is actually a very cool Sipper, and as far as like structurally, it looks enough like a Sipper, but I feel like you could carry this thing around and not have it get in the way all the time. Some of the Sippers feel very like that looks cool, but is it really a mug, or is it really something that you should be drinking out of?
Well, even this though, this looks like I would take like 2 sips out of it and it would be done. Like if I just, like it doesn't look huge,
I think it is. I mean, looking at it, I feel like it's, I guess it's probably about the same size as buying like a medium drink, probably. So.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look that big to me because I don't think the arms and leg things have liquid in them, right? It's just the middle part.
Yeah, that's what I assume too. It's just the middle part.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I thought this looked pretty cool, which is why I put it on here because I don't think I've seen a sipper like that before with all the extra stuff on it like that. Like it looks pretty identical to what's in the movie. They did a nice job with it,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the other thing too, is that this is one that like, you can take the straw out and it just looks like a nice display piece from the movie. If you're, if you're a big fan of Big Hero 6, I mean, I would put that on my shelf.
I mean, listen, Big Hero 6 is great. I love that movie. Mm-hmm. It's a good one. I haven't watched it in a while though. I feel like I need to get back to that, but
I kind of wish that. I mean, they did the series. I kind of wish that they would continue or do more stuff with it because there's lots of potential from that universe.
I think that was part of that one too. Is that they actually had to? I think that was one where some of the characters were actually owned by by one of the other companies that owns those properties. Because it's a Marvel property. But I feel like I remember reading somewhere that I don't know if it was either Fox or Sony owned some of the Big Hero 6 stuff, and that may or may not have prevented them from doing more. I don't know, but
interesting. Yeah. I thought the reason that they did Big Hero 6 was because it was one of the lesser known Marvel things out there, and so there wasn't a bunch of licensing stuff around it, but
I think there is unfortunately, because I think they actually left some people out, some of the characters out of the original movie because of that, but I could be wrong. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that some of the characters we're either owned by Fox or Sony. I don't know which one, so they might have gotten those characters back because when the movie came out, it was before they had acquired Fox, so they didn't have access at that point, but it's possible.
Yeah.
So
I mean, things are always changing with licensing anyway. But
yeah, of course. Anyway, so there's some other big things we should talk about.
Let's talk about the Haunted Mansion. And this actually, so first of all, the Haunted Mansion has been under renovation for a while at Disneyland because they redid the queue area and all that. But they have also updated the bride scene, which this also ties back into, we were talking about that sipper. That I was like, it's weird that she has the candelabra instead of the instead of the hatchet.
It's funny that you said that. Yeah, because when we were looking at it, I was like, this is an interesting take on the bride. Like maybe they're just doing like a stylized thing or like doing like a different. I didn't realize that they actually. It was an actual representation of the new bride character that is in the Haunted Mansion. I guess it's not really new. It's just a new design and different backstory, right?
It's a new design, and it's actually going back to what it used to be before the bride with the hatchet. Which I like this a lot because I grew up with. I remembered, one of my earliest memories was going into the attic and seeing the bride, which, you couldn't see the face or anything. It was just like this creepy bride standing in the corner, and you could see the heart beating through the dress and everything, which was just, very freaky for sure. I like how they redid this, that it looks like they're actually using some projection stuff to do the bride. And it definitely gives a lot more of an ethereal look. If you've seen the, how it moves.
It looks like an actual ghost.
Yeah, exactly. Like it looks like it's floating there. And so, I guess it's no longer an animatronic, which, is not to say everything should be an animatronic, but, I think this is a good use case for, like you said, because it is supposed to be a ghost, making use of technology to really give the impression of, hey, there's a ghost standing there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
floating.
I mean, the projection technology that they used here it looks very real. I mean, there might be I don't know. Is there a physical item there that they're just projecting on, or is it I can't even tell if it's a screen or not. But
I mean, from the videos that I saw, it's like it looks like it's one of these things. You know how like they did like the Space 220, like when you're looking out the window, like it looks like it's something similar to that. Like, so it's not just a flat screen. It's like
a curved screen that they're doing it onto.
It gives some sort of depth to it, so it doesn't look just like a projection. It actually, feels like it has some level of depth to it.
Yeah, and so part of why they did this, first of all, they, like you said, they brought it back to the original, and they also, the backstory now is more about, it's like a heartbreak. It's like lost love as opposed to her murdering all of her husbands. So it kind of made it almost sad a little bit, and then
it's more somber.
Yeah, and then the interesting thing they put in here was that the candelabra is the same one that's floating in the hallway, so it's making a connection to and they also put one in the graveyard scene, so it's like she's traveling around the haunted mansion as you're going through it, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that. And I'll admit, the Hatchet bride thing felt a little aggressive
for Disney.
Beheading people. I mean, I guess it happens in all kinds of stories, but it felt very like the rest of the, or I guess I shouldn't say there was other similar themes in the Haunted Mansion of they're like the two paintings shooting each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made the bride feel almost, it was a little out of place previously. I will admit, like the first time I saw the bride was actually in Disney World, and I didn't like it because, like I said, I remembered the the previous bride with the the beating heart and everything, and I liked it because you didn't have to, or it wasn't so like blatantly explained to you. It was more oh, there's this like, what's with the creepy bride, the creepy bride with the glowing eyes and everything in the corner, right? And it's nice that this, that they are still doing storytelling with this, but it doesn't have to be so like overtly. I want to equate it to like the Hatchet thing was like going through like a haunted house in not a theme, or like a
carnival.
That's what I want to say theme park, but it's like no, but this is a theme park, but it's like
a low budget theme park.
It felt like a carnival ride more than like a haunted mansion. So I'm kind of glad that they've done this. I hope obviously because they're doing this here, they do tend to eventually stuff will mirror over to the Walt Disney World version. So I'm hoping that we see it on both coasts.
I'm hoping that too, just for only the reason that the bride at the Disney World one, like the projection technology is not great on that one at this point.
It's dated.
It's not good, right? And they actually said so. Kim Irvine, she's a Imagineer, and she's generally like responsible for Disneyland, and so she's always the public face of this. And of course, she has a very close connection to the Haunted Mansion, being that her mother was Madame Leota, right? So, so she's always got that connection. But she said, we thought if we changed the story back to the original stories that the Imagineers had about the lost bride in the attic mourning the loss of her husbands. So it was a sad thing. It's a story about lost love. So they changed that. But she also said that part of the reason why they redid it is because the original projection technology on it had become so outdated that it was causing maintenance issues, right? So like that they were having to do a lot more maintenance to it than they probably wanted to. So they thought
by using ridiculously hot bulbs on an old projector that can start fires.
Yeah, exactly. So now this is the newest, which listen, why wouldn't you want the newest? And I mean, I think they did it to great effect because, like I said, I mean, the one at Disney World, like it's a standing figure that they're just projecting a face on. This it's floating in midair, like it legitimately looks like a ghost. So, I mean, that's really cool that they did that. And also just the whole candelabra thing too is cool that they've kind of put that as like all throughout the attraction, and it's like you can connect it to that scene. So, Yeah.
I feel we should touch on something else. I don't know if you saw that there was a little bit of controversy around so in the
AI art thing. Yeah.
So in the new shop, the gift shop next to Haunted Mansion, they put various photos in there, and there was a photo in there that looked kind of like it looked like something kind of from the Haunted Mansion, but somebody looked at it and realized that it was the reason it looked familiar was that it was actually AI generated art that was somebody just pulled it from somewhere off the internet, and
it was on Redbubble. Apparently, I read.
Yeah. So they somebody at Imagineering found this, bought it or printed it out, and slapped it up there, for decor in the shop. But I do like that they actually did touch on it. That it was they moved it out, and they actually said it was sorry, that was a placeholder.
Yeah,
right? Which. It's interesting that they actually did address that, and it does speak to, I guess, sometimes we kind of get on about using projections and using like new technology and stuff. Disney could have very easily just left that or said, oh yeah, whatever, we don't care. But they obviously do care enough that, somebody I feel was, just trying to, decorate the place and didn't, think about it on the level of, hey, this is going to look cheap or, look out of place. But I'm glad that Disney actually acknowledged it. And, hopefully it keeps them more mindful of not, leaning on AI or leaning on like stuff like that. Right. Like it's, I think it's good that they kind of got caught with that because, I don't expect that from Imagineering. If everything starts becoming AI generated from Imagineering, then it's not Imagineering.
Well, what this tells me, Trevor, right? So she obviously, Kim Irvine was not happy about this, and she said, "How can they find one thing out of all this cool stuff?" Right? Okay, fair. But at the same time, like it's clear to me that they opened this store before they were ready to. Right. And the reason why I say that is because she stresses that the AI art was a temporary placeholder, as you said, Trevor, noting that there are many objects coming to the shop, more paintings and tapestries among them that are in the process of being fireproofed before final install. Well, final install should probably happen before the store opens, not after. Right. So
that's fair. Yeah.
That tells me that they probably rushed this to be open at the time they said it was going to be open. And, before obviously the Haunted Mansion opened back up. And they weren't necessarily completely ready to do so.
Which I guess that's weird to me that somebody was pushing for the gift shop to open up. If the attraction wasn't open, it's like, why are you pushing? Like, why does that need to open first?
Yeah,
and then you end up cutting corners and doing all that kind of stuff. And then again, I understand she was upset because people are picking it apart, but. Like I said, I think it's good that they got called out on it because, it stops somebody from trying to cut corners in the future, which, the one thing about Disney is that, when it comes to attractions and storytelling and stuff, they should not be cutting corners.
I agree. I have to say the store looks pretty cool though. I don't know if you've seen pictures of it, but it's got some cool stuff.
I love the store. I can't wait. We are still planning, barring any, the issue we have right now is, the Canadian dollar is not great, but, barring the dollar getting really bad, we are planning to go to Disneyland in November. So I'm hoping to go and check this out in person at some point here this year.
They also, did you see this picture of the chandelier that they have in the store that was apparently in the attraction originally?
Was it?
Yeah, that's what she says. She said that we made this in the early 80s to go over the crystal ball before it floated. And it's a spider web inspired chandelier, but I guess this was back in the 80s and now I guess they kept it and they moved it into here, which is it's a pretty cool thing. And the other thing is she said that this shop has been in the works for a decade. They've been working on this for a decade, which is crazy. But it's very cool. I like it. And the other thing she mentioned here too, did you see the Raleigh Crump thing? So she mentioned that there's in the queue, which by the way, the queue is also getting great reviews too because of how cool it looks and how nice of a job they did. But she mentions in here that there was a conduit that runs up the side of the tree in the middle, and she painted. Kim Irvine actually painted herself. She said she hand painted this thing that Raleigh Crump used to do all over the Haunted Mansion, which was the Egyptian eye. And she said a lot of his drawings for the Haunted Mansion have it, so she hand painted it on the conduit to make it look like a snake. And she put his initials on the top, which is pretty cool, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
There's
no picture of it, unfortunately. But
okay, I was going to say because there's like this little gazebo picture. I was like, is it somewhere there? But
no, I don't think there's a picture of it in this article. But I just think that's cool to when they pay tribute to the to somebody like Raleigh Crump who designed the Haunted Mansion in the way that it is. So
yeah.
A lot of interesting things in this article. I always enjoy when they interview Kim Irvine because I feel like she tells it pretty straight and is pretty honest. So
I think it's good, and I hope that like you said, obviously she's got a tie to it because of her mom, but I hope that for Disney in general with designing new things like this or redesigning all that you have somebody that is passionate about it like she is, because that's when you get the best work, right? Is when, people have that level of passion and detail, how many other people would stop and go, oh, we need to put like a Raleigh Crump tribute.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, right? Like,
yeah. That's why she's like I don't know what her exact title is, but she's like, the head Imagineer for Disneyland, basically, right? Because
she's one of the, I want to say she's got to be up similar to, what's his name? Tony, the guy who did Big Thunder. Yeah, Tony Baxter. Yeah, I feel like she's got to be in like that kind of circle now at Disney.
Yeah, I mean, she's been there since she was very young. I mean, and obviously, like you said, her mother is kind of a legend at Imagineering and just at the parks too. Just from the fact that she's Madame Leota, but also she was one of the first women that worked at Imagineering. So it's there's also that too. But yeah, so Irvine's been at Imagineering for 55 years. I mean, so she knows every little piece of everything from the Haunted Mansion and everything else. So anyway, yeah.
All right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, cool stuff. Yeah. Like I said, anybody who's going to Disneyland, please do check out the new Haunted Mansion. And, I guess, let us know what you think too. Cause, we're obviously sharing our take on it and our thoughts, but, we love to hear what other people think as well.
And by the way, if you want to read this article, it was in the LA Times. I will link off to it in the show notes in case you want to read it, because I thought it was a very interesting article and had some cool pictures. And there's also a full-on video of the new stuff in the Haunted Mansion and in the queue. They took a whole video of it. So if you want to check that out, go check it out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play Food Time today, Trevor, because, we're just doing a little we're doing a mini Food Time. So let's,
this is a festival food time. So
it's a mini
or not. I guess, sorry, this is not like a flower and garden festival. This is like a couple week.
Yeah. This is a month long one. Yeah. It's not that.
Yeah.
So this is for
Lunar New Year, which is, worth celebrating, but
sure.
And it's also, this is specifically in DCA. So. Yes.
And nowhere else. They specifically celebrated over there. So yeah, let's go through some of these things that we got. And I'm going to rely on you to pronounce a lot of these things, Trevor, because you're more into these foods than I am. So,
okay.
But what is this? Mini char siu? Char siu. Yeah. Pork shanks with rice and pineapple. That is a bright red color, man.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of red in here because, Lunar New Year is all about the red and the gold.
Yes.
And yeah, those pork shanks, they look they're like ribs, I guess. But yeah, the sauce is incredibly red.
Like, did they make that redder, or is that just like what it looks like?
I mean, that
what the chart.
So, yeah. There's something in there. One of the spices just makes it look red. It's not dyed or anything.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So then we also good. Sorry.
Yeah, that looks that looks good. And then I guess there's also, the macaroons returning. I will say, back to the red dye. There is a strawberry milk macaroon that is incredibly red.
I mean, that sounds delicious, though. It's strawberry buttercream with a milk tea scent. That looks pretty good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So that was at Bamboo Blessing. So we're on to...
You forgot about the Lunar New Year Mickey shaped light up straw clip, which I don't think we have a picture of. But
a light up, is that really worth talking about?
It's not. No, I was joking.
We have, I think, one or two straw clips, and we realize like that those are not any time where they charge you for a drink and it comes with a straw clip. It's not worth it. But
I don't disagree with you.
Okay. Moving on, and I love how they keep putting it on, like on the next Longevity Noodle Company, they put it on there as well.
Because it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Although they don't include a picture though, for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. There's nothing new there, but let's move down to Lucky 8 Lantern.
Okay.
Which has a chocolate firecracker.
Oh.
Which is light chocolate mousse, chocolate ganache filling, chocolate almond decoys, is that I guess? And popping candy.
I believe it's Decoy.
Decoy? Okay. I don't know.
I don't know why I would know that.
And then popping candy featuring Dove dark chocolate. So this thing, it looks like a little firecracker on a plate. And it actually served on a little gold foil thing too, which is kind of a nice touch.
I know this isn't a new item, but the quesabirria egg roll, I mean, I love quesabirria, and that sounds amazing.
I mean, egg rolls in general are delicious. But,
that looks delicious to me. Can we talk a little about this, about the Year of the Snake margarita that has a snake gummy coming out of it?
Oh, yeah.
There's a snake gummy hanging over the side of the margarita.
I never realized how, like, you used to like worm gummies. I guess making a snake gummy does take a little bit of effort.
Yeah, I get. Do you just get those, or did they have to make them?
You make a mold, and then I
guess so.
You make whatever you want into a gummy mold if you want, but
yeah,
that's cool.
So, moving on to Prosperity Bao and Buns. There's no new food here, but there is interesting looking food.
There's so many alcoholic drinks that they're offering.
Yeah, there's a lot of drinks. But I mean, these are the two food items are pretty cool looking though.
I mean, I said this before,
the red panda bao
baos are so good. Like if you haven't had a bao, like go have one. Like they're just.
I'm not opposed to a bao.
They're good. Like
jumbo pork and vegetable. That sounds good.
Yeah, because I know, like you said, you usually don't go for this kind of stuff. Like I would say,
I would eat both of these things. By the way, I would eat both of these things. Yeah,
both of those baos, the Kung Pao bao and the Red Panda bao, both look really good.
They do. I would eat both of those. Those look delicious. Let's move down to Red Dragon Spice Traders, which does have some new things, including fire chicken wings with sesame seaweed crunch. Should we take that to mean they're extraordinarily hot?
I would assume that they're hot because,
I
mean, the fire is in the name, so
I mean, I figure that's what you say. If you want people to know that it's hot, right?
Yeah, but I guess the question is like there's hot, and then there's like flavorful hot, because you can get just like straight heat with no flavor, which I hope that's not the case here. Yeah. But if they have some flavor to it, then it's worth getting the spice because it's a good experience. Which the next one actually I expected they would be good is spicy gochujang chicken tacos with yuja citrus cabbage slaw, which I really like gochujang. It is hot, but the nice thing about it is that like I said, it's got that flavor, and you can kind of or hopefully they've adjusted the spice level of it, that like you can get varying levels of spice from it, or depending on how much you use. Obviously Red Dragon is where you go for spicy stuff.
Things,
but so moving on, we have Wrapped with Love. I love the name of these booths, by the way.
They're fun.
They've got pho dip with rice noodles, sliced beef, shaved jalapenos, pickled onions, and a pho broth, which is
really
so. This is a Oh, wow. Okay.
It's so like a sandwich.
Yeah,
right?
They've done like an au jus, but they're doing it with pho instead of like au jus.
That's pretty creative. That's pretty interesting. It's different, you know.
Yeah, I like that actually. And the only thing I'm on the fence about pickled onions because I generally don't like onions, but something about pickled onions, I don't know. Like,
okay,
I think they work. But then I don't know. And then we have a mandarin orange cream puff filled with citrus cream and mandarin compote.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
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 That almost sounds like go ahead, sorry.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of like orange flavored desserts. So
yeah, I get you. Yeah. But I mean, it almost feels like a creamsicle kind of flavor, right? Like it's like it's got that it's a cream and it's got the citrusy flavor. So I feel like you almost get like a creamsicle out of that, but I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that would work. I could always do a good creamsicle.
Yeah, exactly. So this is saying throughout Disney California Adventure, right? Yeah. There's a snake sourdough bread. Did you see that? Sorry, go Trevor.
So these are at the regular. So the previous stuff we were talking about, these are at like specific event booths. These are at the regular dining areas that you would find in California Adventure. So yeah, the snake sourdough bread, which is a goofy looking.
Yeah, I don't know how much that looks like a snake, but you know, it's hard to do that with bread. You know,
it's hard to cook bread and have it keep the shape perfectly. But so I guess you can get a long piece of bread. Just
So I mean, there's some other things in here that we're not going to go through today. We're gonna wrap it up. I
think we covered the most of the New Year specific stuff. Yeah, obviously, you know, we'll link the Disney Parks blog to, you know, go and check out the rest. Going to be honest here, you know, maybe people will figure it out as you get through this last part of the section. We're having some technical issues
a little bit.
With recording the podcast. So rather than try and hobble our way through this, we'll call it here. And I think I think we can probably wrap it up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. So as usual, you know, if you guys want to reach out to us, you can always find us at welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys and hearing what you think about the show. You know, you can always share your own trip reports and all that kind of stuff. You can find us on Facebook also as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast, and you can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. Make sure on Facebook you check out our group Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, where we have all kinds of great conversations about you know, things that we talked about on the show, but also, you know, people just figuring out their own Disney vacations and Disney stuff in general. So, you know, please come check us out there. And then also, if you'd like to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.com and check out our different merch. We got t-shirts and mugs and all kinds of great stuff there that, you know, has the logo on it, which, you know, we designed the logo ourselves and we like it. So, you know, please check our stuff out because, you know, maybe you need a new mug for, you know, listening to the podcast on a Monday morning. So, you know, we got you covered there. Similarly, you can also find our Patreon. So we have patreon.com/welcomehomepod, which we have different levels of Patreon support that offer an exclusive Patreon logo that you can't get on the main store. And our Patreon listeners also get access to the Discord server, which is yet another place that we talk about stuff that happens on the show, but also just random Disney stuff and random life stuff in general, because, you know, I think we all just, you know, like having a place where you can talk about whatever's going on, whether it's the snow or, you know, stuff people are doing in their lives. So, come check out the Discord and, you know, just, you know, have a look on our Patreon for that. Last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, leave us a 5-star review. It does help more people find the show because, you know, that's just how the internet works these days. And also, you know, we love seeing your written reviews on iTunes. We love hearing what you guys think about the show. And I don't know if we've had any, I don't think we've had any new ones this year. Have we, Tom?
No reviews recently, but the last time we got a review was about food time. So But if you go ahead and review if you can, we would love for you to review the show. We're up to 4.5. We actually slipped back up to, we got back to 4.5. So
nice.
Yeah, which is nice. So also, besides giving us a review, please don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any podcast app that is available. You can find us. Just search for Welcome Home. Look for the one that says Disney on it. Just a reminder to our listeners, Welcome Home Podcast is for entertainment only. We are not employed by the Walt Disney Company. And as such, all opinions we express on the show are our own. So please consult a DVC cast member or Disney cast member for more information about anything we talked about today. Huge thank you, as always, to our sponsor, DVC Rental Store, for sponsoring this episode. And, of course, World of DVC for being our continued partners over almost 10 years now, right? So check them out. We trust them because we've known them for a long time, and they've always been good to us. So join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar bowl.